Hey everyone, so we're here for our last directions for the last lesson of Unit 6. So, kind of like Lesson 9, this one is about wrapping up the unit, so no new content, but a different way of going back over some of the content from Lessons 1 through 8 and starting to organize that to get you prepared for the assessments, which are the next couple days of this unit in order to finish it off. All right, so you'll notice it's pretty bare bones there, dealing with what are the essential questions and all that stuff. In terms of essential questions, it's all of them. We're at the end of the unit. So the point of essential questions is to say, what should you be able to answer and understand at the end of the unit? So really, you're responsible for all of these at this point. We've been going one by one, step by step, kind of repeating some along the way, but we're at the end, so you're responsible for all of them. The key skill for today is one that shows up on your Axes paragraphs, and that's about organizing your ideas. So today's an opportunity to re-engage with the work you've done, hopefully done, across the unit up to this point so that you can begin to answer the question that you will have to write a short essay about in your Axes paragraph. So when you organize things, you introduce a topic, organize complex ideas, concepts, and information so that each new element builds on that which preceded it to create a unified whole. So it's about looking at essential question number 6, the one for your Axes paragraph, and then really deciding, how do I answer this? What do I think the answer is? What evidence then supports that? And how do I explain the evidence in order to show how the evidence supports the answer I came up with? So basically, the organization is following the Axes format. Again, the concept for today, kind of like the concept last time, is about getting ready for the test. So the objective of today is to organize your response to the Axes paragraph prompt so you'll be better ready to actually write that thing. All right, so not too much to go over. We will head over to Google Classroom to just show you the resources there. Now, this is just a little bit tricky, and I would say not a good choice on Google Classroom's part, is that we're like, all right, we got our learning guide, we've got all the lessons we've done so far, and then it stops. We've got one more lesson. You have to click View More in order for it to pop up, which is pretty stupid in my opinion. I feel like people won't see that it's there. You click on this. Lesson 10 is essentially about writing preparation. If you remember, for the last couple units that we had in class, I gave you these writing charts to help you prepare your answers to the FRQs. This is what you have just this time during distance learning. So I've given you some if you would like to do these for essential question 1 and number 2. Just what caused the Great Depression? How did people experience it? And you could follow these questions to see how to organize your ideas. Really, the more important one for you to do is this one right here with essential question number 6, because it is the one that you're responding to for the Axes paragraph. The question is, to what extent was the U.S. federal government's response appropriate to the crisis that the nation faced? Was the response too much, not enough, or just right? So the way to follow this process, and again, it builds on all the things we've been doing this entire unit, is to start with this question here. What did the New Deal actually do? So in this case, you'd probably have to revisit lesson number 6, which was about the New Deal agencies. What did it create to address the economy during the Great Depression? So look back at lesson number 6 for that, would be helpful. And next you decide, how would someone with liberal political beliefs argue that the New Deal was necessary? Liberals believe in more government intervention, so they would say the New Deal was a good deal, good thing to do. So for this, you would need to go back to lessons number 4 and lessons number 5 in order to see what are liberal ideas, right? What were their ideas being put forth? That's in lesson number 5. And then even the lesson number, number 7, to see how people further to the left of the New Deal thought that it was necessary, but the New Deal wasn't doing enough. Right. On the other hand, you want to also think about, how would someone on the right, someone that has conservative ideas, look at the New Deal and government intervention and say it was not necessary. So what's their reasoning behind that? Again, look at lessons number 4, 5, and 7 for details there. And then collect some evidence. So that evidence could come in the form of terminology that you find in lessons 4 or 5. It could also come from the documents that criticize the New Deal, coming from lesson number 7. So that's where that stuff is going to show up right there. And next is about making up your mind about this. So after reviewing the evidence you collected on these 2 possible interpretations of the New Deal, which one seems like a better option? So this is you self-assessing. Well, do you have more liberal or conservative beliefs? Are you more of a liberal? Do you think that the government should interfere during a crisis of the economy? Or are you more of a conservative and say the government should stay out of the economy and let it work its own way out of things? So notice you're deciding what your approach to the prompt is down here. That's kind of like your thesis. Up here, you would have collected evidence that supported both points of view. Because you're essentially assessing, was the New Deal necessary, up here you need to know what the New Deal actually was before you can say whether it was necessary or not. All right, folks, that's it. We'll look back at the directions really quick to wrap up. So remember, you're responsible for all the essential questions, but you're really focusing on number 6 to prepare for the axes paragraph. You can see that's reflected in the key concept right there. And the key skill today is all about organizing your ideas, because there's this really stupid teacher phrase. It's actually not really stupid, it's really good, is that a failure to plan is a plan for failure, right? So you are planning ahead so that you aren't going to fail that axes paragraph. You're going to do well because you're organized from the beginning. All right, folks, that wraps up our unit with all these different lessons. After this will come the assessments. So the axes paragraph for writing, and then that new reading one. I'll have a directions video that goes over the specific way to approach that new reading assessment to help you along the way. When you do that, after this, really over the weekend or the week after we do lesson number 10. All right, that's it, folks. You will see me next time, and I'll see you later. Bye.